Welcome to Sip and Say with Stephanie. Hey y'all, how you doing? How you doing? Hey y'all, how you doing tonight? Hey y'all, how you doing? How you doing tonight? Or today, or whatever what time of day it is for you. How you doing? Hey y'all, welcome to the Stephanie Humphrey channel. It is Stephanie Humphrey broadcasting live on my YouTube channel, recording live on my podcast. Welcome to the Stephanie Humphrey podcast listeners. Hey y'all, how y'all doing? It has been since I wanted to say September, but it's actually been since August since I've been on the Stephanie Humphrey channel for a Bible study or for Sip and Say with Stephanie. You all, I have to apologize because I forgot to tell you in August that I was going to take a mental health month in September. So that is why you have not seen me, because I took a mental health month. I took some time to get away. I didn't get away. I got away from just podcasting and doing my live YouTube, but just to get away and sit and listen and be restored and be healed. And y'all, it was really good. I got a little comfortable. Not wholly prepared for tonight because I got a little comfortable. I'm not being on, and so, but I'm glad to be back, y'all. I am back, and I'm really glad to be back. I did come on not last week, but the week before last, the first week in October. We had the Pocketbook Exchange Fellowship on the 5th and the 6th. So I was on Thursday and Friday. So if you were live with me, thank you for joining me for the Pocketbook Exchange Fellowship. We had an amazing time on Thursday and Friday. And when I say the Lord swooped in on Saturday, the Lord swooped in that library, you all. The teaching was good. Which was included in the different sessions. I had a session 1, session 2, and there were 2 workshops to choose from each one of those. And then I did the session 3, the third session, just a little bit of teaching. But that 4th session, which was intercessory prayer, it was a bomb.com, y'all. It was so good. God really came in. He ministered to our heart. He ministered to our soul. He healed us. He delivered us. He restored us. He made us new. It was absolutely amazing. And even though it's been 2 weeks today, since the first day of the Pocketbook Exchange, and then Saturday it'll be 3 weeks since the Saturday sessions. But y'all, 2 weeks ago, and I'm still resting and being fed, and like resting in the residue, like resting in what God did, still being fed, still being transformed, still being renewed and restored. Y'all, it was amazing. We had an amazing time. And I thank God for everything that happened at the Pocketbook Exchange. I thank God. I bless God. God is amazing, awesome, wonderful, great, mighty. He is all powerful, all knowing, everywhere at the same time. God is he's just God. He is simply God, and the great I am that I am, Jehovah God, Elohim, he is. And y'all, I appreciate God so much. I'm so thankful for who God is in my life. I am so thankful for the blessings that God has bestowed upon me. I thank God for being in my right mind, activity of my limbs, for employment, for a place to lay my head and to be safe in my home, a car to drive so I can get back and forth to work and go to the other places that I need to go and want to go. I thank God. God is so good. He's so amazing. He's so awesome. Man, let me just tell you. If you can't tell her, let me tell her what God has done for me. And I'm just in awe of him. And I'm in awe of God's goodness towards me and towards my family. And when I came on, I was feeling a little guilty because I have a family member that's in the hospital. Has been in the hospital the last 2 days. I checked on the family member yesterday, but not today. And today at work was interesting. So before I get there, it was on my mind first thing in the morning. Then I had a morning meeting and it was interesting. And then the rest of my day was what it was. But before I go too far into that, how are you all doing? How are you doing mentally? How are you doing emotionally? How are you doing socially? How are you doing spiritually? How are you doing mentally? Did I get your mentally? And how are you doing? I got spiritually, I got mentally, emotionally, socially, spiritually, and physically. How are you all doing? My voice feels tired. I don't feel tired today, but I do feel sleepy. So I have gotten in bed, y'all. Let me tell y'all something, late every day this week. Meaning to go to bed early, got in bed late every day. When I say every day this week, every day this week, I don't even know what I was doing. But I was up doing whatever. So physically, I just need some sleep. I feel good, but I know I can feel I need some sleep. And so I'm hoping to get some sleep in this weekend. I have plans for the weekend, but I hope to get some sleep in this weekend. Y'all, I'm about to cough, so I'm going to take a sip of my water. What are y'all sipping on tonight? As you're telling me how you're doing, what are you sipping on? Let me get a sip because I'm about to start coughing. So what are you all sipping on tonight? I'm sipping on straight water tonight. But let me know what you're sipping on. Let me know how you're feeling in the chat, or you can add it to the comment section if you're listening to the rebroadcast. I feel so physically, I feel good. I was feeling some pain in my lower right side, excuse me, my lower left side. I don't know where it came from, but I do understand with age comes aches and pains. So I just took it as an ache and a pain from age and kept it pushing. But physically, I feel good. Mentally, I had the meeting this morning and it was interesting. And it left me feeling like I was a little thrown off for the rest of the day, for most of the rest of the day. I was navigating through the discussions that occurred at the meeting. I was navigating my role in the meeting and my role moving forward. I wasn't happy about some of the things that were discussed, and I had to just navigate how I was feeling about it, and then what steps do I need to take for myself to move forward. So that's kind of how I am, like mentally and emotionally. That's what I was thinking about today. And then I got a little bit of relief, a little bit later on in the day, and so that was good. But y'all, I feel a little drained, but I'm good. I'm good. God is good. The Lord has already started talking to me about 2024. God has already been talking to me about 2024, but I think was it Sunday or Monday? Either Sunday or Monday, God was speaking. And so I got my notebook, it's right over here. Yep, right over here beside me. And God was just writing, trying to capture everything that the Lord was speaking about 2024. And so I'm so excited about what the Lord is going to do for me in 2024. The Lord normally gives me a vision, like a vision theme, and a vision for 2024, or my theme is based on the vision God gives me. I haven't got that yet, but I sure got some plans. The Lord gave me some plans, so we're gonna work the plans. We're gonna work. I've already actually started working the plan. I'm working one of the plans that I could, and so I'm thankful. I love when the Lord, God is a talking God. Y'all have heard me say that before. I got that from Prophetess Julia Austin. God is a talking God. He's talking all the time. We just have to avail ourselves to listen to what the Lord is saying and then be ready to execute the plans and the strategies that the Lord gives us. So that's what I'm in. I'm in planning and execution stage. Some things I can execute now as it relates to the plans, and other things I'm just gonna have to wait till 2024 get up in here. So we'll see, y'all. I'm excited. I'm excited. And I'll have to just ask the Lord, because I haven't asked yet what my vision is for 2024. So I'll have to ask him about that. So Yeah, all right. Hey, Aunt Wanda, how you doing? Wanda says she's doing good. She's sipping on some orange juice tonight. I know that's right. You know what? When y'all were here at the house, I have some what do I have? Some juices here that I meant to give to my family was here like 2 weeks ago for the pocketbook exchange, and I should have took those juices out. But I had like maybe 8 or 9 juices that I wanted to get rid of because I don't drink a lot of juice just because of the sugar intake. But I meant to get those, and I saw them this week. I was like, doggone it, I meant to get those to my family. But anyway, they in there. Most juices don't expire until over a year ago. So, I'll probably see them during the holidays. So I may be able to share. But anyway, that's it, y'all. I don't have much tonight. We are going to actually talk about Breast Cancer Awareness Month because it is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. It is also that's my pink. As we know, we wear pink in October, and whenever you want to wear it to support persons who have dealt with breast cancer and are in remission, and for those who are currently navigating through breast cancer, and for those in memoriam to those who have passed away from breast cancer. My purple ribbon is for Domestic Violence Awareness Month. You all, I was walking through the hall this week at my job. 2 of my coworkers were standing in the hallway and they were talking. Of course, I went by them, I speak, hey, how y'all doing? And so one of they stopped me and they were asking me what my purple ribbon meant. So I said, purple is for Domestic Violence Awareness Month. They had no idea that October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month. And so I just shared, that's what it was, whatever. I told them I didn't know when it got started. I don't know what year or, if it was kind of just how it got started. But anyway, they finished her. I was walking down the hall. They're finishing up their conversation. So one of the colleague that was walking my same way, I was walking down the hall, caught up with me. And we started talking more about Domestic Violence Awareness Month. And man, we had a really great conversation about it. And so I'm going to talk about domestic violence awareness next Thursday, Lord willing. I'll talk about it next Thursday, but tonight I want to focus on Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And you all, the reason why I wasn't here, I told you why I wasn't here in September. I was taking my mental health month. And then you all know I was here during the pocketbook exchange Thursday and Friday. Last Thursday, the reason why I was not on last Thursday is because I was actually at a workshop, that talked about domestic violence awareness. And so there was a gentleman who was from a not rescue mission, but from Crisis Center. It was he was I think the executive director or the director, whatever the title is, he's the head over this crisis center. And so he came on to talk to us about domestic violence awareness, some of the things that victims go through and how we can support, loved ones, co-workers, just people that we know that may be involved in this just horrific crime, because it is a crime. And so it was a really good discussion, and it was sponsored by the Women's Health Awareness. So Women's Health Awareness, you all have heard me talk about it. It is sponsored by the NIH, which is the National Institute of Health. And so it's one of the sponsors. Also, Delta Sigma Theta Sorority is one of the sponsors for Women's Health Awareness as well. And so they had the workshop last Thursday, and it was right at 6:30, and I did not want to miss it. It was from 6:30 to, no, maybe it was from, it was an hour, I think it was an hour and a half, whatever it was, but it was during the time that I would have been on, so I was there. And also, let me go ahead and tell you, November 5th is part 2 of the Domestic Violence Awareness Month. Part 2 is going to talk to us about how we can help a domestic violence victim with like legal things and talking to the police and different things like that. And I don't want to miss it. So the first Thursday in November, which is the 5th, I will not be on. I'll be taking that second class. So I would see you all, the next Thursday. I don't know why my throat is acting up, but let me take a sip. And you all, it seems like everything happens on a Thursday. There is this teacher session that I'm going to be going to, I think in November. It's on a Thursday. I said, why people want to plan stuff on my Thursdays? But it is what it is. And this information is good for me to be able to help ladies, children, whoever, because sometimes men are the victim of domestic abuse. And so I like having this information so that I can know how to navigate this with people that I know who are experiencing this type of crime, because it is a crime. Domestic violence is a crime. And so I just like to have the information so I can help whoever I can. Because like my coworker, me just wearing my ribbon was enough for me to generate a conversation with her, with two of them, and then the conversation was extended with one of the coworkers, and it was just a beautiful discussion that we talked about. So having the information, the right information, to be able to share with others, educate others, make others aware that this is happening and things that they can look forward to. Me taking the classes on Thursdays is absolutely worth it. So I'm gonna keep taking my classes. And the educator one, I'll keep y'all abreast. I'm trying to remember, because I was looking at it at work, and I'm trying to remember what it's about, but I can't think right now, or what day it's on. But I'll keep you all abreast. I think it's like let me see, I got my calendar. I think it's like the 16th. Yep, I think it's the 16th. So that'll be the third Thursday in November that I do plan to go to that as well. So you'll have me 2 Thursdays, but not the other 2 Thursdays. And y'all know National Novel Writing Month is coming up next month. Y'all, I'm sorry. Y'all, when I say I have got, I'm gonna count how many stories I have been thinking about most of this year. I got one that features 4 couples. I have one that features a couple. She's a dance instructor. He runs a farm. She's not saved. Things happen. That's 2. I have another one which is an extension of an existing story, but it's 2 characters that I can't get out of my head. So I'm going to extend their story into another love story, and it's raw. It is raw. There's 3. There's another one. Hold on. Let me think about the other one was, because I haven't thought about the other one in a while. I think I had like 5 of them. That was 3 of them. What were the other ones? I don't remember what the other ones are, because I haven't been thinking about them as strongly as I've been thinking about these 3. But what I plan to do, letting y'all know, y'all, this is an exclusive for NaNoWriMo, National Novel Writing Month. I do plan to do a short story. So I'm going to write some short stories in November. So next year in 2024, Lord blessed me to live to see it. Or as my dad say, if the Lord delay his coming, I'm going to release a short story novel in 2024. I have no idea what it's. Yes, I did. I did have an idea of what it was going to be called, because the idea came to me while I was on my way to work, but I don't remember what it was. So Lord, bring it back to my remembrance, and we're going to do that thing. We're going to do that thing. We're going to do that thing. Okay, so that's what I'm doing in November. I'll probably be talking about it more. I'll be writing the entire month of November. If y'all want to write with me, it's National Novel Writing Month. I'll add the link to the description in case you want to write with me. You write 50,000 words, or as many as you can, but the goal is 50,000 words in 30 days. It is the most fun, one of the most fun, exhilarating experiences that I have. I absolutely love, 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 love writing during National Novel Writing Month. I'm thinking about, well, that's a side note. I'll keep that to myself because I don't know if I'm gonna do that or not, but I'm excited. So if y'all want to get excited with me and write, even the first time I participated in Nano, I think I wrote like 17,000 words. It was not a lot. The next year, I think I wrote 30,000. By that 3rd year, I was hitting my 50,000. I was like, I got this, I got this. So it's fun, y'all. You can write about absolutely anything that you want to write. You can write one entire not incomplete sentence. You can write one run-on sentence the whole time. You can start with A on November 1st and end with the end on November 3rd. November 30th, and you don't have to use any punctuations, no periods, no semicolons, no colons, no brackets, no nothing. All you have to do is write. All we're doing is writing. There's no editing, no proofing. You're just writing. So if you want to write one run-on sentence for the entire month and put a period at the end, that's okay. It could be 50,000 words of run-on sentence. It's all good. We go back and we edit and we proof it later. But during writing, you're just writing, and every word counts. Because I know one time I had wrote like a page, maybe a couple of paragraphs of a story, and I didn't like it, so I did the strike through, and then I kept writing. That strike through, those words count. Every word you write counts. If it's misspelled, it counts. If it's spelled correctly, it counts. If it's a contraction without an apostrophe, it counts. Like, all words count in Nano. Y'all see how excited I am. I absolutely love National Novel Writing Month. It's the absolute best. I'm gonna take a sip because I'm talking too much, my throat, and then I promise you I'm gonna get into Breast Cancer Awareness Month next. You all go ahead. Okay, let me take a sip. I'm absolutely drinking water, so I'm gonna pour more. Y'all know I go through this every October, so I think we have this information. But in case you don't, or you need a refresher about Breast Cancer Awareness Month, this is for you. Y'all feel like singing. Whoa, 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 whoa. All right, y'all, I'm done. I'm done singing. I'm gonna get into this information because I know you got to go. I got to go. All God's children got to go because I'm gonna try to get in bed early, y'all. I'm gonna be with my family tomorrow night. Y'all pray for me here. It's gonna be a long day. Y'all pray my strength in the Lord here. Pray my strength in the Lord. I'm wiping my glasses off. I need to actually get my my spray because I haven't sprayed my glasses lately, and I feel like they get kind of dirty easy. I probably need a new cloth. I've been using this cloth for a little while. I guess I can wash it. I don't know. I guess I can wash it and it still be okay. I don't know. I never tried, but I'll figure it out. All right, what is y'all look? I told y'all I'm talking about Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and I am. Y'all know we don't have a Speaker of the House. Look, and y'all pray for the peace of Israel. So I don't even want to go there. I don't even want to pray for the peace of Israel, the Bible says, but there are Palestinians that are being affected by this war. I am not for or against anybody. I'm just pray for the Israelites, pray for the people in Palestine, because both sides, the Palestinians, the Israelites, everybody's getting hurt by this war. Not everybody, but there are children, women, men that are being killed and hurt. War is never good. I don't care what nobody said. Well, I know what the Bible say. There will be wars and rumors of wars. I got it. I hear what the word say. I got y'all Bible scholars that saying, well, Stephanie, the word say, I got it. I know what the word says. Still, yet and still, wars are never good. I know there were wars in the Bible from the Old Testament on through, not a lot in the New Testament, but in the Old Testament, we had a lot of wars going on. I know, I get it. I got y'all Bible scholars. I got you. But war is still never good because it's devastation. There's lives lost. There's suffering. There's turmoil. War is never good. But we got two wars going on. The Ukraine war, Russia invading Ukraine, that is still happening. And now the Palestinians, Hamas, Palestinians in the Gaza Strip, and Israel. Y'all, let's just pray. I hadn't planned to talk about that. Let's just pray. And y'all, we don't have a Speaker of the House, y'all. When I say the Republicans are in chaos, they in chaos. Hakeem Jeffries is getting his 212 votes. So you need 218 votes to be Speaker of the House. They agreed upon number for this particular voting for Speaker of the House is 217. They've decided to decrease by one, so 217. Jim Jordan, Scalise couldn't get to 217. He blessed it. Jim Jordan not getting 217. I know this is not going to happen, but I just want there to be 5 Republicans to just slide on over to the Democratic side, go on and vote Hakeem Jeffries in so the House can get about the business of the United States of America. While I know that's far-fetched and I'm in la la land, I'm in Looney Tunes with that thought. I know, I got y'all, I got it, I know, but still, it needs to happen because I'm just saying, Republicans, I don't know anybody that is currently in the Republican House of Representatives that would get enough votes to be Speaker of the House. I just don't see not a one. I think Hakeem Jeffries would be the best candidate for the Speaker of the House. But y'all know good and well that them Republicans not gonna have a third person who Black in leadership, because you got the president, something happened to him, you got the vice president who biracial, and then the third person, if something happens to the vice president, would be the Speaker of the House. They would be third in command, third in charge. Y'all know they had enough of President Barack Obama, who's biracial. He white y'all, but y'all, he Black with us, but y'all saw him as a Black man. Okay, fine. Y'all know they're not gonna want 2 people of color. That's one of the top or 2 of the top 3 that could be in charge of the United States. That's not gonna happen. I get it, but still, 5 Republicans need to slide their tail on over to the Democratic side so Hakeem Jeffries can be Speaker of the House. I know there's 6. The Lord said there are 6 of them that would be willing to vote for Hakeem Jeffries, but they scared. That's what the Lord say. Take it up with him. Okay, I'm done with that. So we're going to a third vote. Y'all just, I'm talking about Breast Cancer Awareness Month. That's what I'm talking about. It's already 6:58, and I'm talking about breast. So this is what we're gonna do. They ain't talking about nobody, but the House of the Republican House of Representatives, y'all, they house is burning down. They in turmoil. The house is burning. Okay, so what is cancer? Because we're talking about breast cancer awareness, Breast Cancer Awareness Month. So men, stay tuned, because I'm gonna talk to y'all tonight too. I know that we all know that mainly women get breast cancer, but men, there is a risk for you to get breast cancer as well. I'm not trying to speak breast cancer on nobody. I'm just saying there are risk factors that can cause men to get breast cancer as well. So we're gonna talk about it. All right, so we understand cancer. Let me just read. This is from the Susan G. Komen website. Okay, y'all. So this is where I think all of my information tonight comes from Susan G. Komen. All right, so we all understand that a healthy body is a natural system. Let me read it. In a healthy body, natural systems control the creation, growth, and death of cells. Cancer occurs when that system does not act right. Y'all know, I know some people believe in not osmosis, but in evolution. You have a right to believe what you want to believe, how you want to believe it, when you want to believe it, whatever. God created the heavens and the earth. God created man, Adam, and woman, Eve. That's just what I believe. So when God created our bodies, he created our bodies perfect. From the rooter to the tutor, from the head to the toe, our bodies were created perfect. Our bodies now experience death, sickness, hell, pain, everything because of sin, because of Adam and Eve's sin. So once they sinned through disobedience, they sinned. Everything came into the world, all this sickness, all this everything, including cancer. So now our bodies can just go haywire because of sin. We're not gonna blame Adam and Eve, even though it was their fault. We just gonna, when we get to heaven, we'll just talk to them and still love on them and praise the Lord. Hallelujah. So when cells don't die at the normal rate, there's more cell growth. That excess cell growth can form a tumor, and that tumor has a potential to become cancerous. So breast cancer in particular, it occurs when cells in the breast divide and grow without their normal control, without that control, without that balance that the Lord created our bodies to have. I want it noted that tumors in the breast tend to grow slowly. And once a woman, or if, I'm not gonna say once, that's not right. If a woman finds a lump in her breast, it is possible that that lump had been growing in her breast for 10 years. Just possibility. It could have been growing in her breast for up to 10 years. Or as long, I shouldn't say up to, I should say as long as 10 years. Ain't that something? When I read that, I was like, wow, that's something. Could have been growing as long as 10 years, because if you do discover a lump in your breast, it just takes a long time for whatever reason. About 80% of breast cancers begin in the milk ducts, and about 10% begins in the lobules, and a few others in the breast tissue. Oh, y'all, look. There is some information about different types of cancer, like there's a ductal carcinoma in situ, is a non-invasive breast cancer. It actually, for this particular type of cancer, non-invasive breast cancer, the abnormal cells are contained in the milk ducts. And we know that the milk ducts, we know what they do. They allow women to breastfeed their children. The in situ part of the ductal carcinoma means in place, because those abnormal cells have not left the milk ducts to invade nearby tissue, so they stay right in the milk duct, ducts. D-U-C-T-S, get my enunciation correctly. This particular type of cancer is called pre-invasive or precancerous. All of us have for the most part, heard those terms. Without treatment, if ductal carcinoma in situ is not treated, it can develop into an invasive breast cancer. Invasive breast cancer. So look, y'all, the invasive breast cancer occurs when abnormal cells from inside the milk ducts or lobules break out into nearby breast tissue. Those cancer cells they can kind of travel throughout the breast. Okay, that is the invasive breast cancer. Not only can those cancer cells travel to other parts of the body, but they can travel throughout the body through the bloodstream or through your lymphatic system. Okay. If breast cancer spreads, the lymph nodes in the underarms are the first place that they're more likely to go, okay? And you know what, y'all, I don't know if you've ever noticed, but I feel like every now and then, I need to really talk to my doctor about this when I see her before the end of the year, but with certain types of deodorants, I've noticed that there's I feel like with certain type of deodorants, there's a lump that occurs under my underarms. And I have noted that, and I have, just looked at the history of that, like certain types of deodorants, I should say certain brands of deodorants, causes like a roughness or a lump type structure to grow in my underarms. And so I've noticed that throughout the year. So I'm mindful about what brands of deodorants I use. And I initially, when I first found this has probably been 15, maybe 20 years now. I actually was very nervous. I thought it was breast cancer. Like I thought, because, breast cancer, when we check our breasts, we go from the base of our breast all the way to the nipples. And then we also check our underarms when doing our self-exam. And then when our doctor does it as well. And so, me, I'm feeling these lumps. I was like, oh no, what is this? But as I monitored it, it went away. I have no idea what that is. In all these years, I've never talked to my doctor about it because it's not something that I think about on a regular basis. I think about it when it happens. And I have used the brand just recently that I totally forgot about because I hadn't used this brand in a long time. And I ended up buying it and I was like, oh, there go them lumps again. And so I think I have maybe one left. I have them in there, but I'm actually using another deodorant right now that I got. So anyway, I don't know if that has happened to you or not, but it has happened to me with certain brands because I usually use solid deodorant. So I know it's the brand and not the actual. And I know different brands probably use the same basic ingredients, but they may put some ingredients in there. I know for me that was not vibing with this body. So I know I've been using a roll-on. I've gone back to using roll-on deodorant and I absolutely love it. So that's been an interesting change. And so, so the invasive breast cancer, again, it's a cancer that spreads, or if breast cancer spreads, the lymph nodes in the underarms, that's the first place they'll go. So just make sure that when you're doing your breast exam, that you're checking all the way, like all under your arms, okay? Just to know, if there's any abnormalities there and they're there for an extended time, make sure that you're talking to your doctor about that. Okay, so that's the invasive breast cancer. So metastatic breast cancer, I actually had to look up metastatic breast cancer before tonight because I've been hearing it like on commercials for a while now, a specific treatment for metastatic breast cancer in particular. And I was like, what's that? And so it is a breast cancer. It's an invasive breast cancer that has spread beyond the breast into nearby lymph nodes and into other parts of the body. And so normally when a person has metastatic breast cancer, it is stage 4 cancer, which is the most aggressive stage for cancer. And I think that's all I want to say about that for now. I do want to say this, you all, if you do have cancer in other parts of the body, it is possible that that cancer can metastasize or spread to other parts of, can spread to the breast, and it can mimic breast cancer. That's why it's important for us to get our doctors to check out our breast and our entire body actually as the need arises for our bodies to be checked out, because cancer can spread to other parts of the body, including the breast, and it can mimic breast cancer, but it might be like lung cancer or a different type of cancer. That's why keeping our regular appointments is absolutely important to check not only for breast cancer, but other types of sickness, so that we can catch illnesses, sicknesses as early as absolutely possible and get them treated. Okay, we'll talk more about that at the end. Let's think about some warning signs, or let's talk about some warning signs. It is imperative. I know there was a lot of conversations happening during the pandemic about women not going to the doctor because of, it was a lot happening in the hospitals because a lot of victims with, I don't want to call it that name. What was it? COVID. I wanted to make sure. COVID-19, y'all know I didn't want to call. So with COVID-19, the hospitals were overwhelmed. So it was difficult to keep breast appointments, especially if you were going for an ultrasound, which you go to a hospital for that. You should be getting, and then ultrasounds if you need that, and then your mammograms are at hospitals. And of course, there was limited appointments and things happening, and a lot of appointments lapsed during the pandemic. Y'all, I went to my appointment. I went to my regular, I had my mask on, I had my gloves, my sanitizer, like I was suited up. If I had a hazmat suit, I probably would have had that on. But I was nervous to keep my appointment. I ain't gonna lie, I was nervous to keep it, but I kept it because making sure that my health is taken care of is very important to me. But I know that everybody didn't have that luxury, and I do recognize that not everybody has health insurance where they can get their regular exams, and we'll talk about that at the end, And so I said that to say, I think some individuals, some women as well as men, are catching up with their appointments and just kind of checking on their health, I guess, over the last year or two since things have opened up since the pandemic. But I kept my appointments, but I know it was hard for some families to do that. And again, just the medical healthcare profession was just overrun with COVID patients, and it was just a lot happening. But I'm hoping that if you did have to stop your regular appointments, whether it's for breast cancer, your mammograms, or your annual exam, and whatever regular appointments that you go to monitor your sickness, I hope that you're back going to your appointments full-fledged. I'm hoping so. So anyway, warning signs of breast cancer. So I said all that to say early detection is key. I hope you're going back to your appointments, because early detection is key for anything, whether it's cancer, diabetes, heart disease. Early detection is absolutely key. That's why I mentioned go to your appointments, right? So it's so important, y'all, because we want us to live as long a life as absolutely possible. Amen, amen. Okay, so warning signs. First of all, women, make sure, I know our partners be, I ain't gonna say, partners be checking on your breasts and different things like that. And I know there have been women that I've heard who have been diagnosed with breast cancer or had a scare of breast cancer. Oftentimes they said their partner was the one that detected their breast because their partner was more familiar with their breasts than they were. Y'all, we need to get familiar with our breasts. Men, get familiar with your breasts. I know y'all don't like that, y'all want to say chest. It's a breast, it's a smaller one, but get familiar. Know how your breasts feel. Some women have lumpy breasts, and your lump, you got to get familiar and know, are these lumps that are normally here in my breast, or is this an abnormal growth or a lump that I'm feeling? And if so, I better get to my doctors quickly. So get familiar with your breasts. Make sure that you're doing your self breast exam so that you know what healthy breasts look like to you, because all breasts are different. Some breasts lumpy, some one smaller than the other. It just weird. It is what it is. Just get familiar with your own breasts, your nipple size, your everything, so that you know when something is out of the ordinary as it relates to your breasts. Pray, my mom is probably laughing at me right now. Okay, so warning signs of breast cancer. This is in women. Men, I'm gonna get to y'all in a minute. A change in the look or feel of the breast, a change in the look or feel of the nipple. That's what I say, get familiar with your nipples as well as your breast. Nipple discharge. Okay, those are the most common warning signs for women that breast cancer might be growing in your body. Okay. Yeah, hold on a second. Okay, great. These are some other warning signs, women, that you should pay attention to. Lump, hard knot, or thickening inside the breast or underarm area. That could be a warning sign of cancer. Swelling, warmth, redness, or darkness of the breast. Now we all adults, if y'all got children in the room, you know, y'all can determine if they need to stay or not. But Black women, most Black women, our areola area and our nipple area is brown or dark brown. Like it's a darker brown than, you know, so even though your areola and your nipple is dark, if it's darker than that dark, just pay attention to the shades of your nipple area so that you'll know what's normal for you and what's abnormal. That's what I'm trying to say, praise the Lord. If it's darker than normal, and then you're experiencing some other warning signs that we're talking about here, it might be breast cancer. You need to get it checked out, okay? So the change in the size or shape of your breast, so remember I said, get familiar with your breast. If you know your right side small, your right breast small and your left breast small, but then your right breast small, your left breast normal or whatever, and that right small breast starts getting a little bit bigger, that could be a sign of breast cancer. You know, get it checked out. If that left breast, which is considered a normal size for you, if it gets smaller, so could be a sign of breast cancer, especially if it's coupled with some other symptoms. You better get it checked out. Okay, so change in the size or shape of the breast. Dimpling or puckering of the skin. Y'all, my nipple area puckers. Like if there's puckering, that's just naturally there. Again, you got to know your breasts. So I know that there is a puckering that is in both nipples. In the nipple area, it just puckers. I don't know why, it just is what it is, it's just there. So I know that's the natural feel shape happening in my breast. So I'm good. But if I notice that there's some puckering outside of the normal puckering, it's especially if it's coupled with other symptoms, and I need to go get it checked out. So there's dimpling or puckering of the skin. It's a sign, could be a potential sign of breast cancer. If there is itchy, scaly sores or rashes on the nipple, warning sign, might be breast cancer. If there is a pulling in, like if your nipple that usually is out, if it turns in, it's a sign that there could be some breast cancer happening in your breast. Not only pulling in of the nipple, but if your other parts of your breast, like if your breast itself starts to pull in, like being drawn into your body, that type of pulling in, then it's a sign there could be some breast cancer there. If there is discharge, in particular bloody discharge from your nipple, not that you, like if you got in an accident or like fell or something like that, and there's discharge there, might be because of the fall of the accident, because it's bruised or hurt that way. But if you're just chilling, just going about your normal day, there's not been any injury or anything to your breast, and there's discharge there, in particular bloody discharge, you might, make sure you get that checked out. It could be a sign of breast cancer. And there is new pain. And I don't know about y'all, but I don't feel pain in my breast. Normally, I don't. But if there's a new pain that's happening in your breast, and it's a consistent pain, like it will not go away, that is a sign that, breast cancer could be present. If you are experiencing any of those signs and symptoms, talk to your health care provider. Set up an appointment so that you can go and get your breast checked out. Early detection is key. Early detection is key. Early detection is key. I want to mention, let me see. Let me make sure. So we talked about the lumpiness. I do want to share this bit of information because I do have it in front of me as it relates to lumps, because lumps is one of the number one way. Well, I don't have any information to prove that, but I think lumps are one of the number one ways that women lumps is one of the number one ways that you can determine if you might have breast cancer, or a sign and symptom of breast cancer is lumps. Because there, again, those cells are building up and the growth is there. So that's where the lump generates from. And so if you do find a new lump that feels different from the rest of your breast, get it checked out. If you find a new lump that feels different from your other breast, so if you find lumps that's different from your other breast, or different from that normal feel of the breast, then you might want to get that checked. I ain't gonna say you might, you should get that checked out. Also, if you feel something there that was not there before, get it checked out. It's better to be safe and get it checked out, and the doctor tell you it's nothing than for it to be something and you don't get it checked out, okay? So again, making sure that you are familiar with your breast and know if you have lumpy breast or if there's a growth that should not be there, okay? I also want to mention just about the liquid, because I think it's another, nipple discharge is another key way of, or a key sign and symptom of breast cancer. So, you know, so I'm trying to say this right, because this can occur during sexual activity. All right, so if your nipple, if discharge can be, okay, hold on to make sure. So discharge, if your nipple is squeezed, that, and there's discharge there, that could be a natural occurrence in your body. So if your, nipple is squeezed during whatever activity you're doing, and there's normally a discharge there, then that's fine. If that's your normal body occurrence, then fine, okay. It's probably not cancer, okay? But if there is a discharge without the nipple being squeezed or manipulated in any way, or if it occurs in only one breast, and if it's bloody or clear, not milky like milk, but clear or bloody, then it could be a sign of breast cancer. So do what you need to do and make an appointment and going to see your doctor. You all have heard me tell this story. I did have signs for breast cancer in 2019, and the signs were there for breast cancer. It was, we did a series of tests. The lump that I felt in that particular breast, I believe I was healed, because there was lumps and there was some discharge. It was some bloody discharge. I was like, what is going on? I called my doctor. I told her what was happening. She said, that sounds like breast cancer. Get your hind parts in here. She didn't say get your hind parts in here, but she said get your hind parts in there in her language. And I went in, we did a series of tests. I was nervous. It was actually during the weekend of the summer gathering. I was very nervous. I did not even tell my mom and my aunt were there. I did not even tell them what was happening, because I just didn't want to alarm them. So I ended up going to the doctor's appointment. While there, I just told them I was going to a doctor's appointment, went, had my test done. And then later came to find out it was not cancerous. The lump went away. I have not had bloody discharge since. I believe God healed me. I'm gonna just say how I feel. I believe God healed me. I believe that the breast cancer was there. I can't say if it was a lot or a little, what stage, but I believe it was there, because that has not occurred in that breast since then. I'm gonna move on. God is a healer. I know God is a healer. And so y'all have heard me, well, I won't talk about that right now, but yes. So anyway, that was that. Risk factors for cancer, breast cancer in particular. Y'all know, women, we have got to take care of ourselves. We have to take care of this body, this vessel that the Lord has entrusted us with. We have to take care of it, y'all. Because y'all know if we don't take care of it, we can have risk for breast cancer, risk for other cancers, risk for high blood pressure, risk for diabetes, risk for heart disease, risk for whatever. Because y'all know when Adam and Eve sinned, they opened up the floodgates of hell, and all that could came through. So let's make sure we're taking care of ourselves. So risk factors for breast cancer. Number one, you a woman. I want to say something else, but it might be children. You a woman. That's your number one risk factor, that you female. And we know men can get breast cancer too, but women get breast cancer at 100 times the rate as men do. So the fact that we are a woman, that's one risk factor. Another is we're getting older. Getting older is another risk factor for breast cancer. Not that all older people get breast cancer, but just the fact, because y'all know our body starts to break down as we get older. With that death occurring, because the older we get, the closer we are. Well, I'm not going to say that, but death is steady occurring in our bodies. And so there's a breakdown as we get older. And so that is a risk factor. You're a woman and you're getting older. Overweight or obese is a risk factor for breast cancer. Drinking alcohol is a risk factor for breast cancer. Taking menopausal hormone therapy is linked to breast cancer. Smoking is also a risk factor, or at least increases your risk of getting breast cancer. If you smoke and you can, try to quit. If you drink excessively, I'm gonna say try to cut down, and if you can, eliminate alcohol together, or maybe decrease your alcohol drinking. Maybe you have some champagne with your spouse on your anniversary or on each other's birthdays. Maybe you toast in the new year with some friends or your family or whoever. I'm just saying, if you can, limit your alcohol intake. I'm gonna take a sip. All right. So factors that actually decrease the risk of breast cancer is breastfeeding and exercise. So all y'all women who have breastfed your children, that act of love and nurturing has decreased your risk of getting breast cancer. I didn't say eliminate, I did say decrease your risk of getting breast cancer. If you exercise, that decreases your risk of getting breast cancer. If you eat fruits and vegetables, I'm in that number, then it decreases your risk of breast cancer. Let me backtrack. Eating fruits and vegetables could potentially reduce, let me make sure I say that right, could potentially reduce the risk of you getting breast cancer, okay? Could potentially reduce. Eat your fruits and vegetables. You need those for your nutrients, for your vitamins, for your body to stay healthy. Fruits and vegetables are good. I know that fruit have naturally occurring sugars in it and increase your sugar intake. So be mindful of that as you're eating fruits or choosing fruits that you eat, okay? Just keep that in mind. Other factors of risk factors, of breast cancer are really under study. We're not sure if these particular factors contribute to breast cancer, but it's worth mentioning just in case you take any of these drugs. So if you take antidepressants, if you take fertility drugs, it's still under study whether those two types of drugs increase your risk for breast cancer. Also, parabens and stress. Parabens are, I don't know exactly what it is, but it's those, I don't know if it's an adjective, whatever it is, it can be used. Let me see if I can look it up real quick. Parabens are sometimes used in beauty products and beauty products. So that includes makeup and shampoo and everything, beauty products. Over the years, a lot of companies have either stopped using parabens or never included it in the ingredients of their beauty products. I'm going to look it up because I didn't look it up, and I'm sorry about that, but I'm going to look it up very, very quickly. I'm trying to make sure I have my spelling correctly. So again, parabens, stress, antidepressants, and fertility drugs are still being studied to determine if those 4 things cause, not cause, but are risk factors for getting breast cancer, okay? All right, so parabens are chemicals that are used as preservatives to ward off substances such as fungi, yeast, bacteria in our beauty products, okay? But again, there are some companies who either have decreased or stopped using parabens altogether. And I know a lot of the companies, I use a lot of Black owned I use a lot of beauty products that are produced by Black owned companies. And a lot of them, I know two of them that I use do not use parabens at all in their products. The other one I just recently started buying from, like over the summer, and I would have to check, but I'm pretty sure, knowing who this person is, that their products probably do not have parabens in it. I don't know what substance they use to ward off the bacteria and the fungi. I'm not quite sure kind of like what replaces the parabens. But anyway, they're not used in the products that I use. And the one that I do use, I'll have to check it. And so, yeah, so just check your products just to see if parabens are included in your beauty products. If they are, then maybe you want to adjust that. If there are findings that support parabens being a risk factor for cancer, you may want to adjust those products. That's totally up to you, because that's your money. You do, and do what's best for you. But just maybe next year, maybe by next year, I'll have an update to determine if these studies have found either yay, it's a risk factor, or nay. So we'll see. But it's important to know that, because I do know people who take these type of drugs, for their purposes, antidepressant, or either just, trying to get pregnant. And so I'm hoping that the studies that they are conducting can give a more accurate read about whether they cause, cancer or not, because I think that would affect a lot of women and a lot of people in general. All right, taking care of our breast health. Okay, look, y'all, like most illnesses, it can be hereditary. Okay, like most illnesses, breast cancer can be hereditary. Talk to the loved ones, talk to your loved ones, talk to your family, find out who had breast cancer, if anybody. Okay, grandparents, great grandparents, great great grandparents, as far great as you can go back. Parents, siblings, aunts, uncles, cousins. Just talk to your family about your medical not your personal medical history, that's up to you, but the family history, like what health related issues are historical to our family. 3 people have had breast cancer in our family. So maybe I want to make sure that I'm taking care of myself even more to ensure that I don't get breast cancer. Or if I happen to be one of the ones that get it, it's detected early so it can be treated, and hopefully I can be, I was about to say be cured from it, but hopefully I can be in remission from it, because still looking for a cure for cancer as far as I know. So know your family here, and hopefully family is willing to talk to you about their history. I'm hoping that that's not information that's withheld from you. I'm hoping that you can have some open, honest conversations about, look, we have diabetes is prevalent in our family, high blood pressure is prevalent in our family, high cholesterol is prevalent in our family. And if you can have that discussion, find out why. Is it because we need to change our cooking habits, our diet? Do we need to exercise as a family? Do we need to increase our vegetable fruit intake, our whole grains? We need to find out why. Why is this medical illness a part of our family history? It would be good to know so that hopefully you can break that cycle with yourself, with your children, with your grandchildren, your great grandchildren. So it's good to have those conversations so that you know the potential that could happen and then trying to prevent. Trying to react like high blood pressure. Okay, let me watch what I eat. Let me make sure I'm exercising. Let me make sure I keep the stress at a minimum. All right. All right. So talk to your family. Talk to your doctor. If you are experiencing any of these symptoms for breast cancer, if there are any risk factors that are prevalent in your family or in your own medical history, talk to your doctor about a plan. Doctor, my grandmother, my great grandmother, two of my aunts and a cousin all had breast cancer. What are my options? Like, what should we do? Of course, having your yearly mammogram, that's one key way to detect breast cancer as early as possible. And I have a statistic, I have some information about that. But develop a plan with your doctor if breast cancer if it's prevalent in your family. If you're under the age of 40, because most insurance companies pay for mammograms as a preventative measure around age 40. I wish it could be younger, but it's possible. I don't know. I've never checked it with my insurance, but it's great for you to check it with yours. It is possible that if there's a history of breast cancer in your family, you might be able to get your mammogram. Your insurance may pay for you to get your mammogram ahead of 40, like maybe in your 20s or 30s, maybe even teens. I don't know. I'm just saying, check with your not your healthcare provider, check with your insurance company to see if they have any guidelines as to getting a mammogram before 40 if there's a history of breast cancer, okay? And that's for men and for women. Men, I'm gonna get to you in a minute, but just check, y'all. All you can do is ask. They either say yes or no. And then of course you could check the policy yourself, but if you need some more guidance, definitely reach out to your insurance company. And yeah, and I'm gonna leave that there. Okay. What are some other things that we can do? Knowing our family history, talking to our doctor, and just being mindful about what we're taking into our bodies. I don't think that there are any or that not that I've researched. I know there are carcinogens and different chemicals and things that are put in our foods and in our beauty products and just in furniture and different things. So let's just be mindful about what we're putting in our body, whether it's food that we're taking in to have our nutrients, like our meals that we take, or even the shampoo we use, the makeup that you're using, the fingernail polish that you're using, the soaps that you're using, because all of those ingredients are being absorbed into your body. They're getting into your skin, you could get into your bloodstream. So just be mindful of what you're putting in your body. Again, whether it's food, whether it's your beauty products that you're actually using, put in, and then what you're using, okay? I've been using all natural soaps for some years now. I want to say maybe 15 or so years, maybe a little longer. And I try to use beauty products that are as natural as absolutely possible. I know some things just have to be put in for the purpose of shampoos and different things, but I try to use all natural or mostly natural everything, as much as I possibly can. I do need to do better about my deodorants because I haven't check into any all natural deodorants. So if you all know a company that produces all natural deodorants, add it to the chat, add it to the comment section. If you're listening to the rebroadcast, I would love to get some. I know that you can make your own deodorant, and I actually watched a YouTube video of a lady making her own deodorant. I don't remember the ingredients. I think it was like last year when I watched it, and I have not done it yet, but it might be something that I need to check into, especially with, like I told you earlier in the broadcast, some brands causing like bumps and lumps in my underarm. And so just make sure that we're taking care of ourselves, okay? Making sure that you're maintaining a healthy weight exercise, make exercise, just like you take your shower every day, you brush your teeth every day, put your deodorant every day, make sure that you are exercising every day. I'm really talking to me. I'm just saying it right here on the live, but make sure that you're exercising every day. Like my doctor said, 5 minutes, start with 5, increase to 10, and then increase from there. 10 minutes, do as much exercising as absolutely possible. If you can, limit your alcohol intake. If you can, limit the hormonal therapy, the menopausal hormonal therapy that you take. If you can, try to limit that. Have a conversation with your doctor about it, so you and them can make the best plan for you. But if you can, limit that. And then if you can, breastfeed, because again, that's one of the, you can breastfeed, it helps reduce the risk of breast cancer. All right, so let's just talk a little bit about the screening. Y'all know, get your mammogram. Mammograms are a part of preventative medicine. When we're 40 and over, our insurance company will pay for the mammogram. It's a free service. Some insurance companies, some insurance companies, like if you have, like, I'm trying to think of the insurance that I have, like wellness type insurances that come through your employer. Some of those additional insurances, not your medical insurance, but those additional insurance, sometimes they will pay a wellness benefit for you to get your mammogram and other preventative yearly exams. The highest number I've known is $100 as a wellness benefit. You just fill out the paperwork, they'll send you your money, extra $100 for getting your well check. Some call it your well checks, your mammograms, your annual exams and things like that. And so make sure that you're getting your mammogram. And we know a screening mammogram is a test that uses X-rays to create images of the breast, and those images can help the doctor see if there are lumps or abnormal growths, within your breast. A screening mammogram can find breast cancer early, sometimes up to 10 years before it could be detected by you or your doctor. Up to 10 years, y'all. Talking about some early detection. Up to 10 years it's possible for that mammogram to detect breast cancer. So get your mammograms, get your mammograms, get your mammograms. Those are your screening, your screening mammograms. And y'all, if you're a woman, you have your mammogram, I don't have to tell y'all how it feels. We know how it feels. They flatten your breast like a pancake in them little plates. But it needs to be done so the images can be taken and we can detect the breast cancer if it's there, or our doctor can say no breast cancer detected, and we can say praise the Lord, amen, and keep moving about our day, being healthy. All right, being healthy. I want to talk to you about a diagnostic mammogram. A diagnostic mammogram is like a screening mammogram, like I say the 3D because when I go to the hospital for my mammogram, it's actually a 3D machine. And so, but the screening mammogram, it also takes images of the breast to examine any abnormal findings a little more closely. So if there's something there that the doctor needs to see a little closer, they'll do a diagnostic mammogram so that they can see a little better what's going on. Also, a breast ultrasound might be used. For the last maybe 3 or 4 years, I've had to get an ultrasound. I get my mammogram, and they always ask me to come back for either a second mammogram or an ultrasound. Sometimes they've asked me to come back for both. Now, when they ask me to come back for the second mammogram, I say, who's paying for it? If y'all ain't paying for it, I'm not getting it because I don't have my one preventative and I'm not paying for this mammogram. But I will get my ultrasound because that's a part of I forget what they call it, but I usually get my sonogram and it's part of the preventative. I think it's part of the preventative because I don't remember, or have I paid for the ultrasounds? I don't know. I probably need to look back and see, but normally I'm back in for a ultrasound after my mammogram because they want to make sure that I have dense breasts, which a lot of women do. And sometimes that density can make it look like there's some growths there. So I go back to get my ultrasound just to make sure everything is okay and all of my exams normally come back no cancer detected, and I'm thankful for that. So sometimes you may get called back. If you do get called back, don't get alarmed. The doctor just wants to make sure that there is no cancer present, or no lumps, or no symptoms or signs, not symptoms, but signs mainly through the imaging, no signs of breast cancer. Your doctor may want you to come back for an MRI, and an MRI uses magnetic fields to create an image of the breast, okay? Again, this is just another preventative measure to rule out cancer. Sometimes it may detect cancer, but it's just another exam to determine, no cancer, okay? I've never had to have a breast MRI, so I don't know what that entails. If you have had one and you want to share it with us, add it to the chat or the comment section, just so we can have that information. Sometimes a biopsy is done. Let me take a sip of my water. Sometimes a biopsy is done to determine if the any growths or any abnormalities, if they're cancerous or not, okay? Again, if your doctor asks for a biopsy, don't be alarmed, just let them do the test so that they can determine if it's cancer or not. And y'all know a biopsy, they insert a needle, they extract some cells or tissues, they take it to a lab and they do whatever test they need to do in order to determine if it's, cancer or not. A biopsy can be done as an extension, or if the mammograms or the ultrasound, the MRI, if they do detect some growths and lumps there, then biopsy would be done to determine if, if it's cancerous, to either rule out or to say this is cancer. I've actually had, I've had my thyroid biopsy before. I think that was maybe about 3 years ago. I had a biopsy because I do have some nodules in my thyroid. It started off with one, now I have 3. And with the one that I did have, it did grow a little bit. And so my doctor asked me, well, Stephanie, I think I've had these nodules for maybe 5, 6, 7 years. And so the other 2 I've had since for the last couple of years. I don't even know if we know where they came from, but I have 3 nodules. And so once the one grew and then the other 2 showed up, my doctor wanted to make sure we had a conversation about it. That's what's so good to have, just talk to your healthcare professional. My healthcare professional is absolutely amazing. She asked me, she's like, these are our options. We can do this, or we can do this. What you want to do? I said, well, let me think about it. Let me talk to some people. I talked to some people and I ended up getting the nodules biopsy just to make sure that they were not cancerous, and they were not. I'm hoping not to get it because it was called an aspiration. And anyway, it was a good experience. I went to a hospital I did not want to go. I do not go to this hospital ever. I don't like this. Something about this hospital I don't like. It is a very popular hospital, but Stephanie don't like this hospital. So when my doctor told me I had to go there, I said, send me anywhere but there. She said, well, that's where you need to go. And I told the doctor and his nurses, I said, look, I don't want to be here. I don't like this hospital. I have never been here for treatment or anything like that. Do what you got to do and get me out of here. And he was like, okay. And I was serious. I did not go to this hospital. That was the only time I've ever been to this hospital for anything. I digress. But it was such a beautiful experience. And I did I write a letter? I don't know if I wrote a letter or if I did the evaluation, but I did let whoever his superiors know, and I let him know as well. This was a really good experience. Thank you for being patient with me. Thank you for listening to me. Thank you for letting me jot down notes, because I was jotting down. I took my notebook with me. I was jotting down notes as he talking. As everybody came in talking to me, I was writing notes down because I just wanted to make sure I knew what was going to happen, but I just wanted to hear it from the people who were actually going to do the procedure. It was a great experience, but I still don't want to ever go back to the hospital again. Praise the Lord. If I have to, take me, but I don't want to. I'm not going to tell y'all the hospital because y'all don't need to know that. All right. So Biopsies help us to see if, cells or tissues are cancerous or not. Okay, let me get to the men. I spent a lot of time on the women. So men, you have breasts. Don't be mad at me. I did not create your body. So boys and girls begin life with similar breast tissue. Men, of course, their breasts don't grow as complex as women's breasts, because y'all don't need that, because y'all not breastfeeding no kids, whatever. At puberty is when the high testosterone levels increase. There's high testosterone levels, low estrogen levels, so your breasts do not grow because your estrogen levels are not high enough or present enough for you to grow breasts like women grow our breasts is. Now there's some men, and I'm not gonna go there because we're talking about breast cancer. Okay. Men, you do have milk ducts. Yes, I said men, you do have milk ducts. They're just undeveloped milk ducts because you don't need them because you're not breastfeeding kids. If you don't like that, take it up with the Lord. He created your body. Praise him. In the United States, less than 1% of all breast cancer cases occur in men, okay? So of course, the risk of breast cancer is lower than men. It's about 1 to 833 risk for men to get breast cancer. And for women, it's 1 in 8. That's huge. All right, men. So the most common warning signs of breast cancer in men is a painless lump or thickening in the breast or chest area, okay? That lump can be a hard knot, a thickening in your chest or in your underarms. So men, I have never heard that it's recommended for men to check your breast regularly, but I would say men, know your chest, know your breast, just like you know your prostate. I'm gonna just say prostate. Your penis, just like you know it well. You should know other parts of your body well so that you know what's normal for you and what's not normal for you. So, if you feel something that's in your chest area, under your arms, that doesn't feel right, like if it's a lump, if it's a hardening, talk to your healthcare professional, okay? If there's a change in the size or shape of your breast, if there is dimpling or puckering or redness of the skin at your breast, if there's itchy, scaly, sore, or rash on the nipples, if there's an inverted nipple or pulling in of the nipple or other parts of your breast, or if there's nipple discharge, all of those could be signs that you have breast cancer. Now, the nipple discharge is very rare. So if you have some nipple discharge, talk to your healthcare professional because that's a very rare occurrence in men. All right, so any of those signs, any of those symptoms, please talk to your doctor. Lump, hard knot or thickening in the breast, chest, or underarm area, change in the size or shape of the breast, dimpling, puckering, or redness of the skin of the breast, itchy, scaly, sore, or rash on the nipple, inverted nipple or other parts of the breast, or nipple discharge. Very similar to women, signs and symptoms that women may experience, okay? It's the same, very, I'm gonna say it's similar, it's actually the same. Again, if you notice any of these signs, see your healthcare professional as quickly as you absolutely can. There are, of course, risk factors. Being overweight is a risk factor. So for men, being overweight can actually increase your estrogen levels. God, I don't like that, but I'll talk to you about it later. So an increase in estrogen levels in the body can be a risk factor for men getting breast cancer, okay? That's interesting. Age is a risk factor for men. Diabetes is a risk factor. Exposure to large amounts of radiation at an early age is a risk factor, like for a child who had like childhood cancer or any type of illness that radiation was needed or used to treat that illness. That could be a risk factor for men. Some conditions that affect the testicles, such as orchitis, which is a swelling of one or both testicles. That could be a risk factor for breast cancer, breast cancer, that's what we're talking about. Or undescended testes, like if you had a testes that did not descend, that could be a risk factor for breast cancer, okay? Now, hormone drugs that are used to treat prostate cancer, that is still being studied. So we're not quite sure if that is a risk factor for men for breast cancer, but maybe by next year, I can give you some more information about those who take hormone drugs to treat your prostate cancer. Could not be a factor. No, that's not right. That is still being studied to determine if it is a risk factor for men. Okay, so men, you need to exercise, you need to eat healthy, take care of your body, just like women, to decrease. I mean, you already have a low risk factor for breast cancer, but to decrease your risk for breast cancer, take care of yourself, exercise, eat healthy. I don't know why I didn't write down more information for men. I'm sorry, men. I should have had some, and I don't know why I didn't print anything off, so I apologize. Let me see if I did get some. Hold on. I did, and I'm sorry, men, but I feel like it's the same for women: eating healthy, exercising, limiting your alcohol intake, limiting, or not, well, I'm about to say limiting your fried foods and stuff, but just being mindful of your diet so that you will maintain a healthy weight, not be obese or overweight. Alcohol limiting, I talked about that. So let me see if I can find some right off. Men, I'm sorry that I didn't have what you can do. What can men do to prevent breast cancer? Let me see if I can find it quickly, just to make sure, because I'm just guessing that it's about the same thing. Yes, keep a healthy weight, be physically active, choose not to drink alcohol, get your regular checkups, and eat a healthy diet. So I was on it. I figured it was about the same. So men, we need to take care of ourselves and make sure that you're going to your annual physicals, your annual exams, and any other exams that your doctor recommends for you to have those exams to make sure that you stay healthy and well, men, in addition to women, make sure that we're going to our exams, getting those extra tests or exams that your doctor recommends. You all, I didn't want to share this I feel like I was supposed to share something else with you all, but I said I would, but I can't remember what it was. If you do not have health insurance, and I recognize that high cost health insurance could be a hindrance for families having it. Working part-time hours could be a hindrance to you having health insurance. I said healthcare, but I meant health insurance. Premiums are too high, so you can't afford to have health insurance. You can't afford to go to the doctor because of the deductible. That could be a factor, or you work part-time and don't have insurance. If you do not have health insurance, the county health department is an option for you to go to get your exams done, even to get some dental care. All right. I used to go, there were some years back that I did not have health insurance, and I would go to the local community health center and I would get my exams done there. That was actually where I went when I had I was in between jobs. So I didn't have insurance at this time. I actually went to the community health center when I had my symptoms for breast cancer. I called my doctor there. She said, get your hind parts in. I went in and she immediately sent me, or she made an appointment for me, I think the next day, or either the next day or the next day, or like within 2 days, she had me not signed up, but had me an appointment to get a mammogram that like within those 2 days, because she was like, we got to check this just to make sure. And so that was the county health department. So I know you may not want to go there, but they have trained licensed doctors there to take care of you and to take care of your health needs. I know it's a long wait. You may not want to be there, but for me, I believe it helped save my life. And we know that God is a healer, because I do believe God healed me. But that was available to me. So if you don't have health insurance or your premiums are too high, check out your county health department so that they can support you. The key thing is for you to go to get your regular exams, your regular annual physical, get your eyes checked, get your teeth checked, and get whatever other exams that your healthcare provider recommends for you. Get those exams. I have never had as many exams in the last few years ever in my life. But if there's an ache or pain or there's something that's not right, and because I usually just keep a little notebook or just have some data to show her, like, this has happened and it's been consistent. What do we need to do? And me and her, we get a plan together. We do what we need to do. I'll get my exams just to rule out some possibilities. And so taking care of ourselves is important, you all. So just get your exams if you can. And I'm gonna say it again, if you don't have insurance, go to your county health department. I know you don't want to, but please do it to take care of you. That's all I have. I think that was all. I wanted to see, because I told y'all I was going to tell y'all something, but I can't remember what it was. I did have it in my notes. Hopefully I said it. Oh, I did say the 10 years. I'll tell y'all about the mammograms, detecting cancer up to 10 years. All right, y'all, that is all I have for you tonight. I will be back next Thursday, Lord willing, to talk to you about domestic violence awareness. I know that's a tough subject. Y'all, let me tell y'all something, and then I promise I'm gonna let y'all go. I have the news. I don't listen to the news often. I usually put on the news to listen to the weather for the week. And sometimes I forget, so I'll put it on like 3 or 4 days later. So I haven't listened to the news since Sunday or Saturday. I turned it on for the weather for the week. And I usually am listening to Roland Martin Unfiltered on the Black Star Network. Y'all know I listen to that during the week from 6 to 8. Y'all need to tune in. Roland Martin Unfiltered on the Black Star Network. And so I ended up turning the news on today because I just wanted to hear about the House of Representatives vote and just kind of see what was going on with Israel and Hamas, and just wanted to get some updates. There's a horse up there that had gone through some difficulty. Something happened with the horse leg. So they did a whole little news segment about this horse. You know what it made me think about? Y'all have heard me say this. You probably heard me say this last October. Animals are treated better in these here United States than women who are violently abused by a partner. And I meant what I said. Animals are treated better in these here United States than a woman is who is violently abused by a partner. Those animals have more right. And so nothing wrong, nothing against this horse or animals. It's just the care that they were using on this horse. It just made me think about, dog, that horse getting better treatment than some women I know who have been abused. Yeah, that a man had to near about kill a woman or kill her for some type of justice to happen. And my then she gone. I'm gonna talk about it next week, y'all. And I don't mean to damper our happy moods, but we have to talk about breast cancer. We need to talk about that to make sure that we can get some early detection. But domestic violence is ugly, it's hard, it's shameful, it's hurtful, and we need to talk about it more than what we do. And I know for a fact, I'm thinking about a friend of mine who went through domestic violence with her partner, and she has a different partner who's absolutely amazing. I really love him. And she talked to me about it, from her viewpoint. I don't know if she'd be willing to come on the show, but it's shame. She told me how shameful it felt. Like she felt the shame. She felt hurt. She just couldn't believe that this was happening to her, and that she kind of not allowed it to happen, but she stayed in it for as long as she did. Thankfully, she was able to get out, y'all. praise God, she was able to get out. And like I said, she has a new partner. I like him. He's cool. He's amazing. You know, he's really good for her, and I love it. So, but yeah, y'all. So we're gonna talk about. I said we're gonna talk about it next week, and I'm talking about it right now. I promise we're gonna talk about it next week. So thank you all for joining me. I invite you to like the episode. If you would like to, I invite you to share this episode, this podcast is live with your family, with your friends. If you have a difficult time talking to your family about family history, then maybe this will help generate some conversations about breast cancer, and maybe it'll lead into discussions about other health concerns that might be prevalent in your family, okay? If you wanna know more about Be Free Ministries, go to BeFreeMinistriesNC.org. If you want to check out my books, you can go to determinepublishing.com. If you just wanna know more about Stephanie Humphrey, you can go to stephaniehumphrey.net. And you're not really gonna find me on social media. You might find me on Instagram. That's gonna be about it. And I'm only up there for the videos, but I'm not giving a plug for that particular social media website. Just letting you know, you might find me there. All right, y'all. Look, I hope that you all have a wonderful, peaceful, restful sleep tonight. I hope you have a beautiful day tomorrow and beautiful weekend. And Lord willing, I will see you next Thursday at 6:30 p.m. right here on the Stephanie Humphrey channel. You all be blessed. Be blessed. All right, y'all. Take care.